Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the pre-market live show. It is Friday, November 8th, and the market just turned over to heat map, and it looks like the big caps are just a little bit red. The Mag 7, Microsoft's down a little, Nvidia, Apple's the only one that's up, and it's plus 0.04%. Amazon's down, Google's down like a 0.5%, Meta's down a little, and Tesla's down about a 0.5%. So we'll see how they work themselves out. And again, they ran up like crazy on that reaction. So we'll keep an eye, but they're all set up. Let's get rolling and see what's going to happen today. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence and let's see what our Jolie's jumpers are doing. First, we'll start with the yin and the yang before we even get into them, because I know that China had their stimulus package and the yin is down $5.23 and looks like it was hit that MACD line and bounced down whatever was going on. I'm not sure what they announced, but it looks like it's coming down. So that must mean it looks really good for the Yang. We went over this a couple times last night. The Yang is up like $8.71. And my volume seems low. Thank you, Laptop Travel. How's that? Is that a little bit better? Does that sound a little better? Let me know if that's a little bit better. And but yeah, the Yang 871 it is up this morning. Just let me know if it's not right, Laptop Travel. Greatly appreciate it. Good. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that. And yeah, the Yang is up 871 and it looks like it's bouncing. So we'll see what's gonna happen here. And let me look at it on mine. And we were looking at them last night, like I said, and China had a stimulus package, and I'm not sure exactly how it went, but the Yang is going to roll off there and pop up, so it's looking good to get rolling now. So we'll see what's going to happen with the Yin and the Yang, but the Yang looks better than the Yin at the moment, and we'll see how it rolls as they open up. The Yang is way underneath the 20, but the 20 curled up it was curled up yesterday. It curled down hardcore when it dipped, obviously, and then today it curled back up. If it jumps back up on there, right back onto this 71 area, it's not too far off of there, 71.50 something, say 71.50s. It's going to start popping real hard. So that's what you're looking for the Yang. And again, we went over it a few times. China had a stimulus thing going on, and I'm not exactly sure how it went, but I know the Yang's up. FXI, the China large cap ETF, that is down $1.61, and it was looking great last night to try to curl through, and it hit that line and bounced down. So they are going to pull back, and the Yang's going to go up. So your Yin is definitely coming down, and your Yang is definitely going up at the moment. So there you go with them bad boys, and let's hop in and see our Jolie's jumpers. Oh, and see where we're at here. Let me find them. Hold on one second. I know I sent them out this morning. Here we go. BLNK, what is it doing this morning? Let's see. It is down 19 cents right there. Let me see if that's this morning or if that was yesterday. That was today, actually. It is down 186. So it opened at 184 and it's actually at 186. So it dipped down yesterday a little bit. It opened at 196 and got down to 176 and closed at that 183. So that's our blink, and it does look like it's trying to curl back up here. And again, it hit that 225 or went a little bit past it, like we were saying the other day, and now it just pulled back. And now they have they had their earnings yesterday, so it dipped on their earnings, and now we'll just kind of let it set up because it didn't get through last time. It tried to cross through, it didn't do it. Maybe it just gets set up here, and then it'll get set up and then it'll get crossed through as it sets up. So there you go. And I just noticed I didn't even change my shirt. I had my buddy's work shirt on that I was wearing. I was out there playing golf. I threw this on because it was a little chilly. Never even changed my shirt. So rocking my buddy's showcase tile shirt. I just looked up and seen that. Oh well, no big deal. HAO, nice and bright this morning, aren't I? On a Friday morning. HAO, here we go. Down 1 cent or up 1 cent. Yeah, down up 1 cent. And this one we were looking at obviously for the last few days, and it is 24 cents and a dip down. So this one's actually pulled back. What is that? Yesterday's price? Thought it was today. It looked like, yeah, it looks like today is mine yesterday's price. That's the question. That's today's too. So I got to see what's happening with HAO because they're giving me two different prices. Let me look on StockTwits real quick just to get an idea because I'm getting two totally different prices there. I have no idea what it's doing. HAO, and I didn't pull up my other one. Up, it is up, so it's at 19 cents. So now I know. This says 20, and this one says like 21. All right, I'll look at it. It looks like it jumped up this morning. My chart looks a little goofy, but it does look like it ran up a little bit this morning. And it says 20 and a half to 21, and it's sitting back just under 21. So we're gonna keep our eye on HAO. We were looking at it and it started to curl up, and it's looking better this morning. ICCM, let's see what's happening. That one's up like 11 cents right there. ICCM. And that one looks like a good little momentum play. At least it was. It ran up yesterday and then pulled back. It opened at 87, ran up to 98, came down to like 50 cents yesterday, and then closed at 92. So that was a crazy run. And then today it opened at 93, ran up to 96, and came back down to 84, and it's sitting at 85. So just ran up pretty good, and now it looks like it's pulling back. On the Finviz, it looks pretty good. Again, I'm getting like mixed views here, and I think we're just working through what we've been talking about. So, HAO in the pre-market, laptop travel has it right here. 19.7. Thank you very much. So it was up 2 cents. All right. So it is up a little bit. Like I said, it says it's up on the Finviz, and it was just looking weird on my chart. I don't know what was going on. It did say the right price. The chart just looked a little odd to me. So that's why it was throwing me off there. But JFBR, but it does look good. So keep your eye on that HAO. And we were looking at that. Let me hop back in here and see where my Jolie's jumpers are. Right there. All right. JFBR, right? Yep. JFBR. Jeff's brands. And this is one we had looked at a long time. If you got in this when we first looked at it, you'd still be up because it's at 34 cents. It never reverse split. And I remember it was way under that. So that's Jeff brand. But let's look at it for today. It ran up yesterday, as a matter of fact. It went from 30 to 35. Not, it looks like it ran up a lot more. No, it had to go up more yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry, 34 to 59, and then its low is 33, and it's at 34 right now. It ran from 41 to 44 this morning and came back down to 32. It's at 34. And Jeff Brands is just kind of hanging out. I think he might be pulling back to set up even more. And yesterday was a little run up for him, but it's not looking too bad, to be honest. Cycle Holdings up $1.36 right there, and it jumped up into the top. Wow, LICY. That one's that one ran up yesterday, really nice. We never even looked at it, but it was up. It opened at 318, ran up to 610, and then it closed at 586. And this morning, 543 to 577, and down into the fours. So it's at 497 right now. And yeah, that one was a pretty nice run up right there. And they had earnings and ran up on it. So I'm telling you, I am really bad at the earnings, and that's what we've discovered this week. So it's pretty good. At least we figured that out. Lunar, I mean, literally said on what, Wednesday night, the thing's going to go lunar. And then yesterday, it jumped up pretty significantly there. I think it opened at like 8.39, got up to $10. And then this morning, let me look on my chart to see exactly what it did. And today it's 958 to 979, but then pulled back to 947. So it did run up pretty good yesterday, just pulling back. If it does pull back, I think Lunar's still going to continue its way up. Just a little healthy pullback there. And MSTU, that is the long MSTR. There we go. There's a nice one for us. There's another. I'm sure that's on that. Laptop Travel did send me over the ETF list, so I didn't fully look. I didn't write it down. I looked at it. I don't know if this was on, but it probably was. I'm trying to remember. I don't. But MSTU, This one looks good. The long MSTR daily ETF, and it is up $2. And I'm telling you, this thing's going to get into the top right here. MSTU and really try to run up there. It did cross through, so we'll keep an eye. And honestly, I would be very careful. My opinion today is I'd be careful buying going into the weekend on a day like today after they all reacted so much. And this is what I was kind of saying the last few nights on the show is they ran up, they're looking great, but you're going to see some pullback on them because they just overreacted. And I think they ran up the day before they were supposed to. I was explaining that the other day. I think the charts thought it was not going to take as not be as smooth for the voting, and it really just jumped up there an extra like a quick day. And we're going to see some pullback, but it's perfectly fine. And then they're going to be set up to blast off. So, again, I was talking about Apple last night, and I'll run through them bad boys. Let's go through our Joey's jumper still. But, yeah, I would just be careful. You don't have to get crazy today looking into the weekend. But I'm telling you, they're going to be getting set up because I was saying yes last night. Next weekend could be a little pullback week or a setup week. We'll see as it gets into there and we'll know exactly what's happening. But they did. They just overreacted and went nuts. They could still run up some more and then have to pull back. So we'll keep an eye on it, obviously. You know that. And we'll see exactly what's going on. NCL, this one did run up this morning. NCL, it ran up yesterday like crazy, 21 to 45. And then today, 33 to 37, pulled back to 28 and came back to 33. So this one, keep an eye on it. Looks like it's jumping all over the place right there. NCL, N NMHI. Oh, this is Nature's Miracle. We went over this yesterday too. It ran up yesterday and then it ran up a little bit more this morning. What was it? 10 to 44 yesterday, and then this morning 18 to 32. It's back to 19. So I'm telling you, like we're just here on a little after 7 a.m. and these things had already run up and did their thing in the morning on the web bowl. So if you're trying to get into these penny ones, you have to be up early to be doing it now. It was never obviously Web Bowl didn't even exist to do it at 4 a.m. when I was doing it hardcore, so that wasn't even an option. Pre-market was 7 a.m. and it was a piece of cake. So it's a totally different world. And again, you just have to pivot with everything and it's constantly evolving and staying with the trends. And that's what we do. And if you can stay ahead of everything, you're always going to be nailing things down. So Rivian. We've been talking about this one, and I'm telling you, this one's setting up, and it's going to get rolled off of there and moving. It's going to be a great look for next week, I think. Soar, I remember when this went soaring. I forget when it was. Maybe it was back in July. I forget, but it did. It went nutty there. It did. It did in July. It went from like 40. I forget what it did, but I remember this one went soaring one day, and this one looks good too. It's trying to cross through and move up there. Let me look on mine for SOAR. That's yesterday, and it looked really good. I don't see anything for today yet. This one, yeah, that's just yesterday's date where it jumped up there on the 7th, and mine says it went from 25 to 34, and then it closed at that 34. So it did jump up there. I don't see what it's doing just yet, so this actually Finviz just says 25 cents, but it was before it jumped up, I think, on the after hours. So I have no look on this at all. So I'm not sure what Soar's doing, but it could be running up. It looks great there from yesterday. And it ran up in the after hours. So I'm not sure if it's doing anything yet this morning. STRL, Sterling Infrastructure. This one's a great one to keep our eye on because it's an engineering construction one, and it's setting up to get super bullish. It ran around like crazy yesterday, 157 to 175. I mean, that's a great option to have right there. That's a beauty, honestly. And then today it's what 170. Oh, well, let me look on mine. STRL. I might have to write this one down. I will. And yeah, it just has yesterday's date. I didn't think it had today's date unless it does there. This one does open at 171.29, but not doing anything. So it is opening up there pretty high too. Where to close yesterday? I have to look. it closed at 174, so I guess it is down like $3. I guess that's why it says that. But again, this one, STRL, I have to write that down. 'Cause that's a great one to keep an eye on. It is setting up to just keep on running up there. And like I said, with them kind of run ups like that in the 170s and it's moving like that, that's a good one to look at for options. And if it wants to run up real quick like that a few days, we're in. So TIVC, I remember looking this a while back. We haven't looked at it recently, but this one went popping this morning. TIVC, and it was moving yesterday as well. It ran 28 to 43, but then this morning 42 to 60. It's at 55. So keep your eye on that because it is running up there and it could keep a little bit momentum. It got right into the top and it's not looking too bad right there. TIVC. So you keep an eye on that. And VMAR. Let's look at that one. I know that was on the list like a week or two ago. And here it goes. It's up $1.19 this morning. VMAR. And you know we're always early. It ran up what yesterday, 338 to 474, and then this morning 440 to 518 and back to 427. Its low is 307 this morning. So that's a heck of a runaround. And that's VMAR, Vision Marine Technologies. And again, we were already looking at that about a week ago. So there you go with that. And WTN, let's see. Webtoon Entertainment. Let's see what they're up to because it went popping off some earnings yesterday. 1421 WBTN definitely popped up there off their earnings. 1133 to 15. And this morning it went 1353 to 1420. And that's where it's sitting. So keep an eye on that. It looks like it has some momentum right there. WBTN. So keep an eye on that bad boy. And there's our Jolie's jumpers. Thank you very much, Asian Jolie. Greatly appreciate them. The market is still a little bit red here. We'll just go right through our SPY and our Mag 7 and see what they're up to this morning and what they're going to do today. The SPY is down 24 cents. And again, I mean, the thing just ran up like a maniac. It was up like $13. And so they hit the top. This is what I was looking at. Do they want to get into the top right there? Or do they want to just kind of hit that top, pull back a hair, and then really get rolling? Here you go. Laptop Travel put a performance thing together for the that's awesome. The Jolie's jumper performance in the pre-market right now. I just posted it out, so thank you very much. That looks great. And DEVS, this one ran up like crazy this morning. Let's look at it. DEVS. It's like a new one or something. I'm not exactly sure because I look at it on mine. There's only 2 trading days. It was like a shell company or something changed hands. I don't know what it did, but I'll tell you one thing. It ran from like 126 to 927 this morning, and it's back to 145. It actually got down to 118 at one point. So there you go with that. DEVS DevStream Corp. So yeah, that one ran like a maniac this morning right there. So there you go with that bad boy. And let's look at the SPY. Like I said, I was just checking that out, and it is down 24 cents. It ran up like a maniac. And again, they're hitting that top, and that's what we were looking at last night and talking about and wanted to see what they would do. We were looking at this in particular and the yin and the yang. And the yin and the yang, we know what we're doing, and these are hitting the top and coming down. I'm not saying they're going to, and that's why I'm telling you, be careful going into the weekend. Just a lot just took place this weekend. A lot of reaction, a lot of run up. Certain ones will still pop up just because of the setup, but we're going to see a little bit of pullback and it'll be healthy, and that's where you want to get in. So this is why I was saying you wanted to be patient, like with the DJT before I was saying it. Yeah, these things are definitely going to run up, and they had that reaction. We went from 13 to 55 before all the news, and then once the news starts coming out, look what happened. It pulls back, and then you wait it out because that's when the public gets in and then they don't know what's going on and it bottoms out. We watch the chart and then as soon as it wants to pop, we already know when it's going back up. So I've done it for a while like that. And like I say, I'm always getting in them at least 3 weeks at least 3 weeks early. I mean, seeing them anyway. I probably used to get in them way earlier. Now we're timing them out so much better and just trying to be way smarter about things. So let's roll through these and see what they're up to real quick. NVIDIA, NVDA. Oh, let me type it in right first. NVDA, it is down 13 cents and it just hit that line. Honestly, I think that they might pop up into the top today. I think we're just seeing a slow pre-market right here, and I think you're going to see Nvidia get running this morning today. So, and Apple, let's look at it. It's down 7 cents. It was up a little bit. It's flat as it curls up. And another one, it's just sitting right there above the 50. And it's not going to, if it dips down a little bit, it's not going to be a whole lot here. So they're setting up to get wild. I'm telling you right now. Google's been running up. And again, remember I told you it hit that resistance up there. And I said I wasn't sure it was going to get through it. It looked like it wanted to, but I wasn't sure. It did. It got into the top, which I'm surprised, to be honest. And it just barely got in there. And now it looks like it wants to bounce off of that line. I don't think it wants to come out at this point. It's pulling back, but now it looks like it wants to bounce. So I kind of have a feeling the day may be a little greener as it goes on. We'll see how it works out, but that's what it looks like at the moment. Amazon, this is down 50 cents. And again, yesterday does kind of look like it might have peaked out, but honestly, it could easily just tap off of that bottom line and go buck wild even today into the weekend and next week. And then, like I said, you could see next week being a little bit of a pullback week. I could see it happening. So we're looking for it. And again, just be careful and trade them smart. If Amazon, these things start getting green and rolling up, you're having poppers today. But just be careful holding them over the weekend because you could see a little bit of pullback next week and it'll be nice and healthy. And then that's when you really want to start getting into them because they're going to get wild and just like boom, 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 just start running like maniacs. So Meta, here we go. It's down $2.04 at 5.89, and it had run up yesterday to like 5.90 something. It was insane. And again, sitting in that right spot, hitting the line. And I'll explain because I picked it up on a few other ones, but Meta's a great one to look at right now, and I'll look at it on mine as a matter of fact. But it's about to cross through. It's hitting that line, and like I said before, I mean where it's positioned at and how it tried. You can see it right here. It tried to cross through on not long ago, the 30th. I think we went through it last night. As a matter of fact, I kind of remember saying it, and then it dipped down. It just couldn't do it. So, yeah, if this thing crosses through, and I think it's going to today, and then this RSI curls up like they should, like it's normal, because last time before the Trump just won, this would have definitely bounced down and had to set back up. Now it's going to be interesting because it may run up as it's setting up, and it's going to just completely explode. So Meta I'm watching these today because, like I said, they were at a pivotal point where they got ran up so fast that they started hitting these lines and they look like they should pull back. This is the thing, they should pull back, and especially we have this look for the last 4 years that's been insane. So now you have to kind of you know, factor that in, but now we just seen everything change. And we did see them start to transition for the last couple weeks. I was saying it them couple weeks when they were looking weird. They were already transitioning into the Trump. And now you can see it. So now if this curls through and runs, these charts are getting back to normal and these things are going to blast off. So I'll keep you posted about that all day today too, because I'm very interested. And like I said, Meta is down, but it's sitting right there where it could just be, just get popped off today. The entire market could just go green and get wild. So you're coming off of a Fed talking yesterday and a lot of crazy stuff. And like I said, they look like they want to run up. So I'm gonna look at them. Obviously, Microsoft is down $1.14, and again, just does not look bad at all. And that one did cross through. So like I said, I have a feeling these things are gonna get crazy right here. So just keep an eye on them, and let's see if the day gets green. And and then we'll definitely be rocking and rolling for sure. SMCI, I was just looking. Luis Rodriguez, he said he thinks this is, yeah, now it curled out of the basement here and it's curling up. I'm telling you, this one, that bottom was definitely at that 2020. And this thing is going to, you're right, Lewis, it's going to get rolling. You're going to get back up to 39. I can tell you that right now. And when it hits that area with the momentum, you'll see the chart change around real quick. So yeah, I have a feeling it's going to run up as well. And yeah, Luis Rodriguez thinks the same thing. Said, I think SMCI could go ballistic. I wouldn't be surprised if it fills the gap to 50 and rockets higher. Yeah, watch it get up to like that 30 something dollar, $38 area. And once it gets through that and keeps that momentum past 40, then you're gonna see it rocket. And yeah, I have a good feeling about it too. And I said this last night. I was reading that one person that audits. I'll ask my buddy today, but I'm confident that that is true. Um, they don't even need an auditor by the 15th. They just have to present the SEC with a plan, and that's easy to do. And then they'll get the extension for 180 days to be able to get the auditors and get everything. So yeah, they need to present a plan that they have everything in the works, and you know they're gonna do it. So there you are. And what's today is the 8th, but last night it says super microcomputer faces setback. Mizuho suspends coverage citing missing financial and audited statements. And then there you go. It says Supermicro may face $1.7 billion bond repayment if delisted. And then I think that dude billionaire Jeff Yas must have sold his 61% um PLTR, and it looks like he's piling into this thing because it's on this thing. And I'm not opening. I think we looked at that yesterday. I remember talking about that guy. I never looked it up, but I will come back. And if anybody knows if he's invested in this, I don't even know who he is, but there you go. It does look really good right now, SMCI. So keep your eye on that bad boy as well, because it is looking very decent. And again, it could get moving. So definitely keep your eye on that one. And the call options, what's that? FBL. Let's see. FBL. Oh, that's the meta. Oh, wow. Let's see. Call options. I didn't even realize this is the well, yeah, I guess Facebook before. So FBL is the meta daily ETF two times, and the call options $35. November 15th is up 1,300%, 1,317%. So there you go. And that's exactly why we're going to be looking at these ETFs, because you can literally see that that bottom, we knew it the other day, was at that $30 area, 30.26. Even if you catch it at 31 or 32, you're sitting at 34 already. So it's moving, and it's going to cross. They look like they're going to cross through. I'm telling you, they have that momentum and that look. They're just hitting it. And again, we're so used to these things hitting this line right here. There would have been no shot in hell. We'd been sitting here going, well, this is going to pull back. But now they have a shot of actually crossing through and actually getting back to a normal pattern. And I'm telling you, it's going to be incredible. So I'll definitely be watching that today. You know that. And I'll be super excited to see them cross through and get back to kind of normalcy. And like I've been saying, we're gonna just absolutely destroy this market with our knowledge, our patience, our trading skills now, and everything. You just put it all together, and obviously we can read charts well enough where we can just kill it. So I'm getting super excited about it because, like I say, I see these things start setting that back up like they should. And you're talking they ran for almost 3.5 years, I'll say, where it was something out of like we were on Mars. It just all of a sudden changed one day, it just kind of changed, and then it just was like, what the hell just happened? And it ran like that until just you seen when I was even telling you. I told you when the transformation was happening. We literally knew he was going in the office for at least a strong month, and there was no question about it. And I'm telling you, the market can't is like, super excited about it, and that's how I knew because I could see what was going on. So yeah, I'm excited to see if these bad boys cross through, and this one really does look like it wants to. So that the FPL will definitely be looking at that. And like I said, Laptop Travel sent me over a great list of all these ETFs. So like all the Mag 7 have an ETF, a lot of the big caps, and we'll really just start attacking them because and that was part of my experiment was looking at them and seeing, what was paying out better. And it's obviously these ETFs. That CONL's up to 44.10, so that last option's a beauty right there. And Coinbase is up $1.71. And like I said, they look like they want to get up to the top. And they look like Coinbase looks like it wants to hit that 270 area. So we'll see what it does today. Like I said, they just are looking super, super strong. And they almost look like they want to get back to a normal chart pattern. So it would be super incredible. I know that, and I think you guys will definitely love it. Because obviously we've have never done the show where they've been normal. So it'll be very exciting. Yeah, the Mag 7 are just down. And I mean, when you're talking that they're down, Microsoft's down 0.23%, Apple's up 0.05%, Nvidia's down 0.09%, Amazon's down 0.26%. So they're pulling back because they were way down, not way down, but some of them are down over a 0.5% just at 7 a.m. So they look like they're setting up. I wouldn't be surprised if today's green, they cross through and just get wild. And then next week could be a little crazy. They'll run up in the top. And again, they're going to have to pull back. That's why we don't want to get crazy just chasing them hardcore because they're getting into that top area. We're going to want them when they pull back. That's when we're going to want to get really hardcore. But you want to trade them now while they're popping up and in and out. So that's all we're looking at and trying to nail down right there. The entire country is looking to get back to normal chart pattern. I love it, Luis Rodriguez. Yeah, I was telling my wife, can I tell you guys a funny story real quick? I have a little time today too. So our it's a teachers convention in our state. So my wife the wife's off for a few days, these few days. Anyway, I go to Home Depot yesterday. I walk in the exit. I always do for whatever reason, just because it's in the middle of the store. So I know the store well enough that I know which way I have to go. So if I have to go to one way, I just walk in the exit. It's way quicker. And as I'm walking in, I literally hear some guy like yelling. I look up and he's standing in line, and I'm telling you, I like it's the worst experience. If anyone goes to Home Depot, I don't know if all of them are. They're probably all the exact same. You can't check out unless you go down to the contractor side and they have cashiers down there because they try to get the contractors out fast. If you go to like where they have regular cash registers, you'll be there for 20 minutes. There's four people standing by the front door with their arms folded, watching you and pointing. You can use this self checkout. You can use this one, and then half of them don't work. And so yesterday I walk in, this guy's yelling. He's like, what the fuck? I've been standing here for 10 minutes. What the hell is going on? And he's holding these fence posts and he's like, this shit's gonna fucking end quick. I can't wait. He's like, I'm so glad Trump won. He's like, why is everyone just standing around doing nothing? And then so I go grab what I need. I just need to get some silicone for something. I go and grab it. It was right there. I come back. Now this guy's still in line. And I was sitting there for a couple minutes. I was gone for a few minutes and now he's in line and he's just getting back up to the self-pay thing. And I'm sure everybody's experienced this. That's why it's the funniest story ever. So I get up to the self-checkout thing, and then they have it broken off where you can always use your credit card on one side and your the cash on the other side. And I just like to pay cash for everything. So I always go to the cash side. And I don't realize the guys at the first one and the second one's open. And now I realize why he was freaking out because the first cash machine has a sign on it. This little, I literally scan my thing. I'm trying to shove the money in, and I realize there's a little sign on it says the cash machine is only taking credit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? I'm like, are you kidding me? And the guy looks at me and he goes, yeah, that's what I looked at him and all the employees. There's like four ladies, and obviously it's not their fault. They start coming over because they see now two of us are talking and we're kind of pissed. And they were already over there trying to help him because he was freaking out. And they come over and I'm like, how is the on the cash side, the machines just don't work. I'm like, how is this possible? And everyone's standing around, and she goes, I know. And we say, it's not your fault. It's just the companies. I don't know what the hell they're doing. So, long story short, I had to stand there and wait for this guy, and he's trying to get his money in the machine. It's not taking the money. The receipt wouldn't print out. It wouldn't give him his change. I'm telling you, we stood there for like 10 minutes. It was the most insane thing ever. And even the employees, they're like, I hope this changes. They can't stand it either. Nobody can stand it. Meanwhile, you watch people walk right out the front door with like $1,000 tool in their hand, and the four people with their arms crossed aren't even allowed to say anything to them because that's Home Depot's policy. And everybody knows that they're not allowed to say anything to you. So people just walk out. So us two idiots are standing here trying to pay for nonsense, and this guy goes walking through the front door with like $1,000 tool he never even paid for, hopped in a car and drove away. And we were just all standing there with the employees just looking at each other. And the guy goes, see what I'm fucking talking about? I go, dude, I agree with this guy. Everything he just said was 100% on, and that's exactly why we're bitching. We're over here standing here for 20 minutes trying to pay for something, and some dude walked out the front door with $1,000 tool, and they'll probably never get it back. They'll never even process. I mean, the dude just hopped in this beat up car with somebody sitting there, and they just drove off, and the car was probably stolen too. And yeah, it was the craziest thing. I'm like, can this? And the guy says, I can't wait for this to end. And I'm like, me too. But that's the country we live in. It's absolutely bizarre. Everyone's lost their minds. So if anyone thinks that's normal, yeah, you should probably get a reality check, and I hope it happens. It's going to happen, and I can't wait. So yeah, just a quick, and I know every single person has dealt with something like that. If you go to Walmart, Target, anywhere you go, it's just crazy. They have employees just standing around doing nothing, and you're over here trying to be the cashier, and it's just wild. I don't know, and I think them self checkouts are end up gonna go bye bye. I think Walmart just probably put like $1 billion into some system, and I'm pretty sure they said if this one doesn't work, they're probably out of ideas because the theft is just insane. People just walk out the front door with everything. They scan two things and leave with like the $100 items. It's the craziest shit ever. I'm like, can people just? I would rather hand my money and my stuff to a cashier and just get in and out. So I don't know if everybody else feels the same, but it was just hilarious. This guy was just freaking out, and I felt his pain because I'm telling you, it's just the worst experience ever. Every time you go, and the last time I went, I was talking to a lady, an older lady was complaining about the same thing. And she says, but the worst thing is, she says, you can't go to Lowe's because they don't ever have anything. And she was 100% right. I started laughing. I'm like, you're so right. Like you try to avoid Home Depot and go to Lowe's, and then they don't ever have anything. I don't even know how that store's still open. So the whole country is just insane right now. So yeah, Louis Rodriguez, hopefully the entire country gets back on the right chart because it's just been the wildest like 4 years we've ever seen. And so that was my story from yesterday. And I just kind of thought about that as we were talking about things getting back to normal. Because I'm telling you, it is just so I just walk around like shaking my head, like, how the hell does this go on in this country anymore? And hopefully it gets back to normal. Elab's looking better this morning. You know, we've been keeping an eye on that one, and it is looking much better. It's curling up there, and I'm telling you, these charts are trying to get back to normal. So I'm loving it. We looked at that TIVC, the Nature's Miracle Devs VMAR. Oh yeah, SVMH. Remember this one? It's at 2.5 cents, and this one's gonna get curled up. This one's gonna be a great one for next week. So let's definitely keep our eye on that for next week as well. And then you have your Tesla Bull, your TSLL. We were looking at this one last night. It's down 11 cents, and I'm telling you, it's right there on that line. And it's hard to tell if yesterday like it wanted to kind of top out and pull back. It kind of looks like it does, but it has some crazy momentum. And that's why I'm saying I could see these things turn around today and get a little bit red because it just has that look where it could do anything, to be honest with you. And let's keep looking and see that we buy ran up big time yesterday. It's still in the top, but it's obviously down back to 21. Nvidia is looking not bad. I mean, we went over. It's looking great. It's up there at 4 cents, down 4 cents, but looking good. GSAT, that's going to come back down. It ran way up there yesterday. And FXI, we went over. That's the big cap China. It's down. The yin's coming down, and the yang's looking great. Um, that SOXS, the semiconductor bear. We were looking at that. Oh, we were looking at SOXL yesterday. That's the opposite. The SOXS is the bear. SOXL is the bull one, semiconductor. And we were looking at that. And again, just pulling back a hair, but it's crossed through. These things are setting up and actually looking like they should be, or at least starting to. You could tell they're going to. SMCI, the TRNR, that's just sitting there a little bit flat, but trying to move. Remember Lucid? I was talking about this the other day. LCID. Didn't it run up yesterday? I think. I'm trying. Let me look at Lucid LCID. I think I had it on the list. It did run up yesterday. And what was it? 217 to 251, and this morning it's just 242. It came back to 220. So we'll keep an eye on that one because it was set up pretty nice right there, Lucid. LCID, and it is setting up. I mean, it just popped out. And here, let me pull this up real quick because, yeah, it's actually, oh, wow. Yeah, it came out of the basement like it should, and it's crossing through like it should. It ran up. It probably could have ran up higher. I don't know why it has two E's here. What, I have double earnings or something? I've has two. I've never seen that do it on Finviz. It has two earning things on top of each other. I thought it was a glitch. Maybe it is, but I've never seen it do that. I'm like, what? I have two earnings? But anyway, um, yeah, it's crossing through, coming out of the basement. We haven't seen that look the entire time we've done this show, and I haven't seen that look since we've in 3.5 years. So that's quite an exciting look right there. I'm not gonna lie, LCID. So again, I was looking at certain ones, and I have them marked off on my list. I never even sent that out. Holy cow! Like I said, next week will be much better. We're gonna revamp things and make it way smoother and cleaner so that everyone knows what's going on and get everybody up to speed because as this thing sets up, it's going to be nutty. And so yeah, but let me look at these guys and see if they want to run in the top. What I'm just saying, we haven't seen that smooth look where they were able to cross through and actually run out of the basement at the same time. It just hasn't happened. So I'm just searching around. DJT's coming down. We talked about it last night, pulling back some more. Like I said, I can expect it to come back to that $24 area and then get set right back up and start cruising. And again, we went from 13 to 55 almost, and then he wins the election and it gets in the media. I assumed it's going to start coming down. That's my assumption right there. We ran it up. We were before the news, and that's what you always want to do, and we do it every time. That's why we hit big poppers. So once it happens like that, you try to get out and hit the top. And then, like I said, you get it to pull back and then you ride it up because that's when it's going to go nuts. But it ran from the top from October 10th to October 29th. I mean, if that didn't tell you something right there, if people didn't realize that that thing ran from $13 to 50 because he was going to lose and didn't have momentum, I mean, what were people even thinking? It's the craziest thing ever that the media thought that was a close race at any point. And it's just mind-boggling to me. I don't know what anyone looked at. So there you go with them. We did our big caps, our crypto. Holy cow, we have to go through that. Holy crypto, I'll say, because that's insane. Bitcoin, $76,160 right there, and just blasting off. I mean, you're at all-time highs, and it just keeps on cruising. Made a base and just kept on rolling. It's going to run up into the 70. Like I said, they hit the 70s, and now they're rolling up to get even higher. So Ethereum's at 2,900 and something, and it is about to get through the 100. And when it does that, it's really going to start moving. It's going to get back into the 3,000. Solana's at $203. We're back at 200, guys. I said it was going there, and it's rolling up there. So just keep your eye on it. They could keep running up a little bit more, but I have a feeling you're going to see some tops here and a little healthy pullback again. The same thing that we're going to see in the market. They reacted like maniacs to the election, went nutty and ran up. So we'll see a little pullback. It's no big deal. I mean, Cardano went up like 6 cents in the to 43 cents. It went right through that 100 like we were talking. Remember, I didn't I say it was going to get to that 50 cent area? It's at 44 right now, so it's getting there. And what was its high? Its high is at 44. So yeah, it's that one's blasting off too. And I mean, I said yesterday Cardano ran up over 6 cents, and I was saying it was going to get right about there into the 50. So I mean, right on the money. Remember, I told you the day before I was talking to my buddy, and Solana was at 190, and I said it was going to 200 the next day. And he goes, "You think?" And I go, "I know, 203." And it was at 200 yesterday during the day. I mean, it hit 199.99, and then got into 200 in the evening because we were texting. So I mean, these things are just cruising, guys. Doge is back almost to 20 cents, and just expect it to get rocking and rolling some more into the top. They're gonna run up there and obviously pull back, but I would say this bull market's kicked off and our halving season can start finally. So I think it's really exciting. And that Wi-Fi dog or whatever it is with that one did I want to see if it crosses through. It's about to hit the line. It was pulling back healthy, and honestly it had almost had over 500 million in volume yesterday. Um, Holy cow. So yeah, I mean these things are just getting wild, guys. So like I've been telling you, is if you're not on crypto and haven't signed up for a Coinbase account, I would definitely do it because you're going to see more millionaires. And I've said this for 3 months, just like the election, you're going to see more millionaires made in these next probably year than you've ever seen, than all the dot-com bubbles, all that shit combined. I bet that's what you're going to end up seeing. I'm not even lying. And some of these kids are going to be making a fortune because they just pay attention to these meme coins. And I'm telling you, they run overnight and will really start getting hardcore into them. I have scanners built for it. I do it all the time, trust me. And I know exactly, I know almost all the coins. I don't know them as well as some of my buddies, but like I said, I have some guys that I trade with, and they know every coin like the back of their hand. It's wild. I'm starting to really know them pretty well, and I know the big ones and stuff like that. I've been doing it long enough now, but yeah, it's just an insane thing. These things run like maniacs. You've never even heard of these things, and all of a sudden it's up like 10,000% overnight. You're like, what the hell just happened? And they happen quick. And and like I said, I have scanners set up that I can pick out just the ones on Coinbase. I can pick out the ones on Binance. And that was the thing. I would see them all before. It'd drive me nuts because in the US, we can't buy them all. Hopefully that changes too. Maybe we have access to more stuff now that Trump's going to be in. That would be amazing. And because Binance, we used to have, and now we have US Binance, Binance US, and it's way different than everybody else's Binance, the international. If you live in Canada, you have access to like a million different coins than we do, and they're all the ones that are crazy meme ones that are popping like literally like 15,000% overnight. That's why if you see a lot of these big time crypto guys, I realize I'm like, why do you guys all live in Canada? I understand it now because they can trade them all. Me and my buddy already said we thought about buying a house in Canada already a couple months, like about a year ago, and having it set up so that we could just have the Binance. That's how profitable it is. And I'm telling you, you could buy a house like it was nothing. So yeah, it's pretty wild, I'm telling you. So crypto, I'm telling you, it's going to be the most insane thing you guys ever see. And then this market's going to be wild. And that's why I'm getting super excited because I already know it's about to happen. And obviously, you can tell I see about 3 months out. And yeah, it's going to get crazy. And then like I said, you're going to see some healthy pullback as they start really cutting back stuff, and it's only going to be for the better for the country, and it's just going to thrive. I'm telling you, the country is going to thrive like we've never seen before. You can already see it happening like on the charts. It feels like when you walk around, and I live in a very democratic area, and you can the vibe is like people are super excited. I obviously know some people that are upset that, it went that way, but it's like, and I explained to him, like, oh, you should embrace this because it's going to be the best country we ever saw. And I'm afraid to tell you, but whatever you've been watching, it's been bullshit. So you might want to get a reality check. And I've told a few people that. And obviously, nobody likes to hear it, but I like to be honest with people. And I just tell them, like, look, I obviously knew it was going to happen for 3 months. I was very adamant about it, and there was never even a doubt in my mind. And it was for a reason because the entire country already knew, and you've been lied to by the mainstream media, and they've been called out completely. I think it gets completely changed, to be honest with you. So. And the Democratic Party is going to have to change. They have to. There's no way they can thrive. And I'm pretty sure they basically said it. I'm just looking at the heat map because it looks like it wants to turn back over. Apple's up like 0.07%. Um, and the rest are just down just a little tiny bit. Google's probably down the most, almost a 0.5%. But yeah, I have a feeling these things might get cranked up as the day gets on. I know we have some laptop lowdowns, so let's take a look at them bad boys and see what they're up to real quick. And if anybody else wants to see anything, we'll take a look. Jerome Powell, he might go peacefully, honestly. He may just step down. I mean, well, if I know he said, he can't be fired and blah, blah, blah. But who the hell wants to work in a position that, they're not wanted at? And but I think Trump even said yesterday he wasn't going to try to fire him. So we'll have to see. And again, guys, I think it's going to be a totally different mindset than we've ever seen this guy have. And again, the guy survived a miracle. He knows he should have been dead. Trust me, I know that feeling. I should have been dead. Believe me. I've been on Earth an extra 15 months. Like I say, I'm on bonus time at this point because my head should have exploded on impact. That guy had a kill shot, dude. I mean, to get to be still breathing for him, it's a different. You see things in a different light. I'm not gonna lie, and like I said, it's going to run like a well-oiled machine. You can see what he did. He surrounded himself with way better people this time than he had last time. I mean, it's evident, and that's why Elon stepped up to the plate. And some of these big wigs like a Dana White, you have some big hitters that really know how to run things. And yeah, they stepped up. I mean, they've backed them before, not Elon but Dana White and some other people, but they never really stepped up like they did to this moment. And you can tell he's a changed person, and it's going to be a different country. It truly is, and it's for the better. Um, like I tell you, as I just look at stock charts, I don't think the economy could have lasted another 4 years. I think the charts might have just like fizzled out or something. I don't even know. I was kind of thinking about it, but I was so confident that he was going to win that it wasn't really that. But I had thought about it, like, what if she were to win? What would happen with these charts? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I've never seen anything happen like that before. So who the hell knows? But clearly it wasn't happening for a reason because I'm telling you, America might have gotten buried. We might have gotten invaded or something. I'm not even kidding. It could have been really bad. And clearly that's why it didn't happen. That's why it was one of the biggest landslides in this country's history. And it always looked that way. And the country always knew that everything going on was nonsense. So it never looked different. And there you go with that. And next week we'll get back to just straight stocks, but it's been a wild week with all that stuff for sure. Let me hop into the laptop travel ones. Let me jump on this page here. Here's our down and neglected ones, our laptop lowdowns. ADDX, this one is setting up so nice. It is like right there. I don't know what it's waiting for. I guess next week probably because it is right there, guys. So keep your eye on it. And today it actually dipped down a little bit, 3 cents. So as it sets up, and that's what these things have been doing. But I'm telling you, this thing's going to get wild soon. I'm looking at that for next week. That should get rolling. ATIP. Oh, this one's really nice too on that big dip. I remember I saw this guy on that. It was on one of the. It was probably on this list the other day because this one did that nice dip on the fifth, and then yesterday or 2 days ago was all right. Yesterday was just kind of chilling. It don't have today's date, but this one's also going to be a great setup for next week, and that's going to be a big old popper because it took a nice dip from about where were we right here? About $5-6 area, and it's at 2.99. So we're gonna have a nice pop up on that one. BCLI, let's take a look. It is up 9 cents. Ooh, this one's gonna roll off. I have to see that. BCLI. Yeah, watch this one to try to run. Actually, you could watch this one today. That one might get moving today. BIOR, and that's BCLI. That one looks like it might be moving. It's called Brainstorm Therapeutics. I know we looked at it before, and it is looking nice right there. Oh, I just typed that in wrong. BIOR. Here we go. Um, it is just pulling back into the basement, so I'll keep an eye on that one just to see what it wants to do right there. DSS. Let's see. That's a nice dip and rip situation. It did. It pulled back really hard on the 7th. And then obviously on today, it's just sitting there at 121. But keep an eye on DSS. It had a really nice dip yesterday, and that could get pulled back up real quick. So keep an eye on that one today. EVGN is right there, too. That one pulled into the basement. Its earnings are coming up on the 21st, but I'm expecting that one to set up pretty soon. So we'll watch that one. And I don't think it's waiting for its earnings. I think you're going to get a pop off before its earnings, and then obviously you don't want to be in it because they're very hard to tell. GCTK, Luco track. Let's see what they're up to. It's just in the basement. It spiked up the other day there, but not looking too bad there. It's going to get set up, that's for sure. I just want to see when. Yeah, it's just kind of running flat. We'll keep an eye on that one because that'll be a really nice one too. That one should get set up, I would think, sooner than later. We'll have to keep a look on it because it has a lot of crazy stuff going on, but I think it's building that base to get moving. GCTK, GNLN. Green Lane Holdings. Here we go. That one's just pulling back and let it hit that bottom right there because it's going to have a nice bounce off of that. ICU. We were looking at this the other day. It was just pulling back, and this one is. It's going to bottom out down here. You can't. It's hard to tell where its bottom is, but it's coming up soon. So I'll keep an eye on it, and then we'll run that up because that was a big run up. That, like I said, when we first started doing this. But and it's going to set up real nice. It's way down there. IVDA, that one's pulling back too. I think you're going to see a little bounce off on here. Let me see if it's trying to. Let's see. I'll keep an eye on this one today. IVDA, it's either going to cross through and pull back a little more, or you're going to see a nice little bounce coming up either today or next week for IVDA. LIXT. Let's see. And this one's trying to bounce up. I wouldn't be surprised if this one has like one of them hard curl ups. It's up 8 cents today, and it does look good to try to curl right up there. So that's LIXT and MTNB. I know we were looking at this, that Matinas Biopharm, and it's in the basement. This is probably going to be setting up for next week. It looks like MTNB. Yeah, that'll be setting up for next week, and we've been looking at that one for like a week or two. So you right on point right there. ONCT just pulling back a little bit. It did run up. It was in a great spot too. I could see this being a dip and rip situation. So keep your eye on that one. We've been looking at that one. SANW, S&W Seed Company. I remember we looked at this before, and it did split, and then they had earnings. It ran up. It's pulling back a hair, but this one's going to get set up as well. And I know we had looked at that SANW before. SHPH, let's see, Shuttle Pharmaceuticals. Oh, this one did take the shuttle the other day when we were looking at it. I remember we looked at it and it ran up immediately. And then now it's pulling back because they don't like to stay up there for long, and they're not supposed to, honestly. So it did pretty much what it was supposed to. And it curled through coming down, but it looks like it could be trying to form a base. So we'll see if that wants to jump on the shuttle soon again and get run up there. But I know we literally called that out and it ran like the next day. THAR, that one ran up a pretty big when was that? It wasn't long ago on October 30th, the day before Halloween, that's right. And now it's pulling back, it's hitting that line. It could be trying to bounce, so we will keep an eye on THAR and see. It's just coming back down there. I'll watch that one. TRNR, this is a good one. This one's on like on the scanner, and I think you're going to see a roll off on here. So keep your eye on that interactive strength. It did run up a little bit the other day, and then it pulled back. It ran up on what, November 5th, and then it pulled back on the 7th. And now today, like I said, it looks like it's trying to get set up there. So TRNR looking decent. That TTOO we've been looking at, it was looking much better. It was curling up. And this is one I'm keeping an eye on too. I think yesterday could have been the bottom, or was that 2 days ago to six, and it's curling up there. It looks like it wants to get out of the basement and curl through. I was saying I was keeping an eye on this one anyway, so I've been watching that. VSTE, that one's just pulling back, but I think this one's going to get set back up and roll off. So it ran up pretty nice on what, the first, and then it ran up a little more on the fourth, not as high, but it was up there, and now pulling back. I think you're going to get curled up and run up higher than it was, probably, is what it looks like. WLDS, well, only one S. Wearable devices. And this is an Israeli consumer electronic company. And this one, another one, I got to keep my eye on this one too. It's got that curl through and coming out of the basement look, and I want to see if it does it. So I'll definitely be watching that. And if it does, it's obviously going to run. And XELA, let's see, that took a huge dip yesterday. Wow. And it wasn't looking, I mean, if I had to look at that, I would have been like, wow, that's set up to run. Not sure what the heck happened. Actually took a, yeah, it took a big old dip. What, yesterday? That's a huge dip on it. 194 down to 110 and closed at 120. But I mean, it was just a big old dip. I wonder what happened there. I don't see any news, but I'll tell you what, it was setting up. So I would watch for that dip and rip situation. That's XELA, and then ZEO, right? ZEO. Let's see. Um, that looks like it's gonna roll off right there too. So ZEO. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna roll off. Could roll off of there today. So there you go. They look really good, and so many great ones right there. And MTNB, is that one? Yeah, Martinez. Yeah, this one I'm telling you, once it gets curled up, you're gonna. This will be 100% runner. A lot of like I said last night, so many 100%ers have come off your laptop lowdowns list. It's crazy. They're all at the bottom. We go through them and go, yeah, that one's about to run, and boom, you. And then I'm posting it on stock twits and Twitter that it went nutty. So, hi, buddy. Good morning. I'll be up in a few minutes. Okay. What is it, dude? My little guy's gonna join the show. Hold on 1 second, okay? Okay, you do that. And now the heat map just went completely like flat. Everything went back to zero. It looks like it just reset for the day. I've never really. Oh, there it goes. Now Microsoft's down. Here, I'll run through them real quick because they are. Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta are all at 0%. Now they're starting to move. So yeah, they like it like reset itself today. So I'm telling you, it's going to be one of them weird days. Yeah, it's just kind of filling back in again. That's really weird. I don't remember really seeing it do this too often, to be honest with you, where it's like gray and just jumping around. That's an interesting look for sure. So yeah, I honestly think they're going to try to get green today and start popping up into the top. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep you guys posted, obviously, and let me know if you want to see anything else throughout the day. I'll be looking at everything, you know that, and updating you. And I'm looking at a few of them to see if they're going to cross through and run the right way. And it will be super exciting. I may have to have a party because I haven't seen that in a while, and it's going to be super fun. So there you go. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Laptop Travel, Asian Joe Lee, especially for the Jolie's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns. Eileen's hanging out all the time. Green Thumbs, XTX Confidential, Bong Prichan, Natasha, Kel, so many others were on. We ran late. We usually would just do like a half hour, but had some time, so we did a little extra. And there you go. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else throughout the day, and I'll be sure to look at it for you. So have a great day, everybody, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day and trade smart and lock in your profits.